Yeah, man, what's good, guys? Your boy Hugo the Savage back again for another review of Ahsoka episode 7 entitled Dreams and Madness. Let's get straight into this, man. Let me just give you the overview of this episode on it. And I might have to watch it again. When my son gets back from school, I will watch it again with him. This wasn't my favourite episode, man. This was a bit lackluster for me, man. I don't know if it's off the excitement of the previous 2 episodes. It was such a high. And I feel like you're coming towards the finale of the show. So it should only go up from here. And you should end on the crescendo of the final episode. And then move on to season 2 or whatever. And I don't know if it's going to season 2. I think the speculation was before. Not speculation, I think they actually confirmed it. That Ahsoka's leading into a movie. Pretty sure, on the big screen. And I have to say, man. As much as I've enjoyed most of this. If this is leading to a movie, I'm not looking forward to that movie. I'm going to watch it, but it's looking a bit of a sticky one. If this is leading towards a movie, that movie's not going to be the greatest. I really don't believe so. I don't know why I'm moving around like I'm, you know what I mean? Weird, but this particular episode, Dreams of Madness, yeah, man, listen, there's a few things that stuck out in this episode. Listen, I was disappointed with the tone of this episode. I was disappointed in the fact that after Ezra being away for so long, they didn't divulge into his character, what he's been doing, what he's been getting up to, what he's learned. Apart from learning the fact that he wants to uses the Force more and more to fight. That was great. I thought that was exciting. He had a fight in this against them samurai little wanderers. You know what I mean? And he was using the Force, and I used the Force against Shin in the fight as well. So I like that. But apart from it, they didn't really divulge into his character. They spent so much of this season divulging into Sabine. And with all due respect, she's boring. She's the out of all of the main characters in this, she's the worst one. She doesn't do anything. She has no chemistry with any of the on-screen mates and that. She's the good thing in this episode. We finally found out, which we knew was coming, that she's Force sensitive. They've been teasing it for every episode, and then something's happened. You know what I mean? What I said about when people were talking about the Night Troopers, if they're going to be undead because of the smoke from previous one, I told people I don't think they're going to be undead, and they're not. Which just confirms that the Night Troopers compared to the Star Troopers, to the Stormtroopers, are just the same. There's nothing different about them, which is disappointing. The way they were built up when Thrawn he came in the last episode, and they built him up like everyone was going to be. They're just the same. They'll just get beat up like everyone else does. Find out in this one that Baylan Skoll's got his own agenda, which is confirmed. Which I said in the last episode, we kind of got that he was kind of speaking of what he wants from the situation, which is kind of perfect considering the other two with Elsbeth and Thrawn, they don't really care about him anyway. So I think they're ready to just, you know what I mean, sack him off. So it doesn't really make a difference. But General Thrawn, he learns that that Ahsoka is the apprentice to Anakin Skywalker, and he would know about Anakin anyway due to Anakin and Padme in Clone Wars. I think it was. He knows of them there. So which would be very interesting, but. They didn't really spend too much time divulging into that. They kind of left it. We had Ahsoka training with Anakin's hologram videos. Thought that was it's kind of cool. It's cool to see more of Anakin than that, but her training was kind of cheesy. You know what I mean? And I don't know. Happy parts though, positives. C-3PO was in this episode. I like that. I love C-3PO, man. You know what I mean? If you're a Star Wars fan, you love C-3PO, and it's just good to see cameos and stuff. Why not cheesy? And because it's a droid, it makes perfect sense. We also learned of Ahsoka's place in the timeline, which I think we all knew, but we didn't know the exact bit of the timeline. But because of Carson Tava in this one, when they're in the Senate, because obviously Syndulla has to answer to the Senate for not listening to them in the first place, that's a good scene because you get to divulge more into the politics of Star Wars. But when Carson Tava stands up and pretty much talks about the fight against Moff Gideon and the battle in Mandalore and stuff like that, confirms that this is at the end of not just after, there's time passed since Mandalorian season 3 and this, but there's nothing in between that, so this is after that, which is good, because I think what they're planning on doing is, with all the seasons they give us in terms of Mando, Boba Fett, and then Ahsoka, I think they're all gonna make a big crescendo to whatever came at the end of this, and whatever that higher power is that they're trying to get away from. They're probably gonna end up all teaming up together to take on this, like Justice League of Star Wars and that, bro. So I think that. But as I said, not much redeeming qualities in this particular episode. Like I felt like if they took out a few of the important parts in this episode and put it in the last episode, this episode was a waste of time. And I'm a bit worried the fact that if next week is the last episode, how are they supposed to cram and tie up so many loose ends in one episode in 48 minutes, something like that? A bit worried about it still. Didn't even like when Ahsoka finally caught up with Ezra. It's just like he's been missing for time. Like, why don't everyone care a little bit more? One thing I liked is another thing what I said last week is Shin. She's very she just follows instructions. She's very logical, but she's starting to question things. She was doing that last episode, and Ahsoka tried to get through to her in this episode. And I think by the time we get to the last episode, it's last week. I don't know about Baylan Skull because I think he's gone. Not in an evil way, because he brings balance to the Force kind of in what he wants. But I think he might just go with his own will and probably fail in what he's trying to get. But I think Shin will join Ahsoka and Sabine and Ezra and probably come back to this current universe. So be interested to see. But that's my review on this episode. Out of 10, I give it a 6 out of 10. Man, 6 out of 10. It was alright. Like, it was good. It wasn't rubbish, it just wasn't exciting, and I think, as I said, man, this is the, I don't know, before the last episode, this is what you give us. I don't know, man, we'll see though. Could be wrong in this one. I'm not going to lose my mind straight away because I've enjoyed all the other episodes, so. Quick subscribe, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Right.